this afternoon for this exciting announcement. Before we get started, I would like to recognize Minister Zane De Silva, the Minister of Tourism and Transport, Minister Levita Fogo, the Minister of Labor, Community Affairs, and Sport. That's quite the portfolio. And Ms. Constance Dearman, the U.S. Consul General, and our Bermuda Tourism Authority board members. Thank you, and thank you everyone else for joining us this afternoon. As the trophies might give away, today the Bermuda Tourism Authority, as the official destination marketing organization for Bermuda, and the United States Tennis Association are announcing that Bermuda will become the exclusive tourism partner of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. This strategic alliance is part of Bermuda Sports tourism strategy born out of the new National Tourism Plan. The partnership kicks off with the 2019 U.S. Open this summer in New York City, which is Bermuda's top source market for visitors. Benefits of this new partnership will include court signage, including the Bermuda logo, which will be visible for more than 100 hours of live television broadcast in the U.S., Canada, and the U.K., which are, of course, our top three feeder markets, in addition to in 100 other countries. And over the course of U.S. Open Fan Week and the two-week tournament, our on-site activation space at the USTA Billie Jean National Tennis Center will enable our direct engagement with 800,000 fans who align with Bermuda's visitor target segments, 56% of whom come from the tri-state area. The Bermuda Tourism Authority is also working in conjunction with the USTA Player Development, the USTA Foundation, and Bermuda's tennis community to create a new multifaceted event that will take place out here in Bermuda in 2020. This event will feature a pro-am, exhibitions with tennis legends and rising American players, and kids clinics for Bermuda's own rising stars. This will bring additional visitor spending to the island and exposure for Bermuda as a premier luxury travel and sports destination. Tennis, of course, has important historical roots out here in Bermuda. Credited by the International Tennis Hall of Fame as the mother of American tennis, Mary Ewing Outerbridge, who was born in America but to Bermudian parents, first came across the game while visiting her family home here on the island in 1874. She later brought tennis equipment back to New York and introduced the game to America in her home borough of Staten Island. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to Gordon Smith, the Chief Executive Officer of the United States Tennis Association, who will share his thoughts on this exciting partnership. Thank you, Gordon.
Thanks very much, Kevin. It is great to be here on a beautiful Bermuda day. Stunning. We came in yesterday, and it's been perfect every minute we've been here. And it's great that Bermuda and U.S. tennis are back together again. As Kevin said, Mary Ewing Outerbridge in the 1870s took tennis equipment back to the United States, and tennis really got started because of Bermuda. And here we've come full circle, and we're partners again. Many of you may know the story of Mary Ewing Outerbridge taking tennis to the United States, but you don't know the story doesn't stop there. It goes on. When she took it back, it really took off. It got hugely popular in Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Newport, but they all played with different balls and different rules. So Mary's brother, Eugenius, believe it or not, was his name, got together with some people. They needed to have uniform rules, so they needed to create a national association. They created the United States National Lawn Tennis Association, which became the U.S. Lawn Tennis Association. And when they created the association, they created the U.S. National Championships, which became the U.S. Open. So but for Mary and her brother, who knows if we'd have even had a USTA or a U.S. Open or be standing here today. Just a personal note. I'm your best salesman. I first started coming to this island as a young newlywed in 1985. And when people come here and they see it, they can't help but fall in love with it. And I've been back many times. My children have been here, and it's a magical place. And it's a partnership. We're going to show so many hundreds of thousands and, yes, millions of people what a wonderful place it is. We're really confident that the power and the reach of the U.S. Open both here and both in the U.S. and around the world, will get so many others the opportunity to know Bermuda like I and many others know it. Not only, as Kevin said, is this one of the world's highest attended annual sporting events, approaching 800,000, you're a little off on your country. We're actually broadcast in more than 200 countries, and you'll have that reach and that power. Our audience, I think, is perfect. It's well educated. It's financially capable. It's people who want and look for new places to vacation. And what's very unusual about the audience that attends the U.S. Open from the tri-state area, and by the way, 15% of our attendees are international, but not only the people who attend it, but our TV viewers, it's almost equal. It's almost 50% men and 50% women, unheard of for sports broadcasts. And we think that's very important for our sponsors. And finally, I think it's really important that it's more than just something that's happening at the Open. It's something happening here. As Kevin mentioned, we're going to be having an event with our foundation, which has many great programs around the U.S. to help kids in places that they might not have an opportunity to play. And so we'll be having an event here, and that event will be to support our foundation programs, but also it will be filmed and televised by the Tennis Channel. And so it'll be another great postcard for Bermuda as we go forward. We couldn't be happier about this. We think this is absolutely a match made in heaven. We want to thank you for the great reception we've had. We'll look forward to welcoming you to New York, and we look forward to coming back here in 2020 for our Pro-Am. Thanks very much.
I think Gordon's a little taller than I am. Thank you, Gordon. This partnership with the U.S. Open really works for Bermuda on so many levels and will truly help set us apart from our competition. You know, Bermuda's brand story in tennis, introducing the sport to America, is really just one example of the ways in which a tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic has always and will continue to punch above its weight. The collaboration will put us in the center of a cultural conversation in one of the must-see events in New York City. As the summer comes to a close in the city, we'll be able to leverage this partnership to invite New Yorkers to extend their summer by having an active holiday out here in Bermuda. The addition of a custom event that will happen here on the island and expose Bermuda's rising star to tennis greats while providing additional visitor spending on the island is really the icing on the cake for us. With that in mind, today we have some of Bermuda's young players here with us today, and we're going to demonstrate the power of this partnership using the USTA's Net Generation courts over here. So with that in mind, I'll thank you and invite you to join us over here, and we'll take some photographs while we have the trophies and our dignitaries here with us today. Thank you very much, everyone.
So, I don't know if you can do it without your sunglasses.
I think we can.
But give it a shot.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's going to be cool. And so we'll get Gordon.
I know in the back.
No, you're